All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Houston Rockets Daily, where we post daily Houston Rockets content. Hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. Today, we're actually going to be talking a little bit about Jae'Sean Tate. So the Rockets have picked up his team option. I think it's like $1.9 million, something like that. Money isn't an issue for Houston right now. Somebody asked me, in a disrespectful way, might I add, douchebag. But somebody asked me yesterday why I didn't mention who the Houston Rockets should get in free agency. I'll make a whole video on this. I've made videos on this in the last couple of weeks, last couple of months. I don't think they should do a single thing. I genuinely don't think they should do a single thing. I'm not going to touch on that in today's video. But we're going to be talking about Jae'Sean Tate because there's no way the fly is still down. There's no way. There is no way you're still down here. I just tried to kill this fucker for so goddamn long, and I thought I lured him upstairs, and I didn't, and that blows my mind. This guy's cocky. I'm telling you, this one's cocky. But Jae'Sean Tate, to me, this is a critical season. I am all for keeping Tate, but I need to see a couple of things this season. Specifically, an improved three-point shot. And I actually remain kind of hopeful about this. Jae'Sean is the type of player where he's a just grinder. Like, this is a workhorse. You know, he went to Ohio State, played there for 4 straight seasons, played there at the center position, goes to Germany, goes to Australia, and then gets picked up by the Houston Rockets that same season. We got Wood. And so, yeah, his contract's coming up to a close here. I want to see what the money is going to look like. First of all, the new CBA is going to come into terms next season, and contracts are going to start getting pretty freaking crazy. They're going to start getting crazy. They already are starting to get crazy. But here's the thing with Tate. Here are his stats this past season. We saw him play 78 games. That's a good part about Tate. He's very versatile. Tari Eason, Jabari Smith, I think those two, their season, how they do this season, how the Rockets deploy them, how Tate does, all these are going to be factors in are the Rockets going to pay Tate. 26.4 minutes per game. He shot about 50% from the field, about 31% from downtown, 71% free throw, 11.8 points per game, 5.4 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 0.9 block or 0.5 blocks, 0.9 steals. So solid stats for a guy who, you know, Jae'Sean, you don't think of him when you think of like a star scorer. He's more of a jack of all trades, more of a good defender. Kind of, I know our defense was so bad, but he was kind of like our best defender, which is tough because at last year he'd only been in the NBA for 2 years and he's already the Rockets' best defender. But thank God for Jabari Smith, thank God for Tate, thank God for Tari Eason specifically. But anyways, here's the thing with Tate. He shot not great from downtown in the first half of the season. I got it right here. Where did you go? First half of the season, he played about 27.5 minutes per game. These are the important numbers. 12.6 points per game, all right, 27.4 minutes per game, and shot 28.6% from downtown. So sub 30 3-point shooting. 27.5 minutes, about 13 points per game, 12.6, 12.5 points per game, which is good. I mean, kind of along the lines of what he put up in his rookie season when he made All-NBA first team, which is still kind of crazy to me that Jae'Sean Tate made All-NBA first team. He's deserving of it, but it's just kind of cool. It's just kind of crazy because that was such a weird season, and Harden should have stayed, but Rockets got Jalen Green. I ain't complaining. So those were his stats. All right, because the reason that's important here's post All-Star break. We had been in the first half of the season. We were in a weird spot. We had Daniel Tice. We got like a good 20 starts in with the starting lineup of Kevin, Jalen, Jae'Sean Tate, Christian Wood, and Tice. And there was no floor spacing whatsoever. And Jalen Green hadn't come into his shoes yet. Kevin Porter Jr. started the season just doggy, down, bad, terrible. So our backcourt duo was not getting the work done. Tice was just a waste of space. Christian Wood was doing his thing. And Jae'Sean Tate, mainly a paint scorer because of all his he's a phenomenal finisher because of all his time playing center at Ohio State. He didn't have anywhere to go. You give the ball to Jae'Sean Tate, you got two fat bodies down there in the paint. I know Wood and Tice can technically both spread the floor, but you got two big bodies down there, and then you give the ball to Tate at the wing and at the perimeter, and it's like, all right, now what? If he tries to drive, well, the issue with that is there's some big-ass center on our team down below in the paint, and it's a logjam. There's just too many people down there. There's too many big men. You're attracting the opposing team's center. You're attracting the opposing team's power forward. That's what's cool about playing Tate at the 3 and 4 is he's small, but he's also just, like, he just knows what he's doing. I don't know. I can't really explain it right now off the top of my head without showing film, but, like, he's like a seasoned vet in paint scoring, which for a player of his size is just super cool. It's like you don't see that much. So, second half of the season, we saw 9.6 points per game, which is about 3 points less. But here's the thing. He played 4 whole minutes less. He was only seeing about 23.5 minutes per game because you started to see like more of the younger cats come in, but Jae'Sean is on the younger scale, but I guess on the Rockets with how young we are, he's on the older scale at just 26 years old. But here's the important note. He shot 38.2% from downtown while taking the same amount of threes. So he took the same amount of threes and shot 38% from downtown. So that's why I'm really hopeful. And if you go back and you look to like Julius Randle, the thing with Julius Randle when he was first starting off with the Knicks and the Lakers and wherever he was, he couldn't shoot threes. I mean, he just couldn't shoot threes. So his game was so limited to paint scoring, and it's not like Julius Randle is the most impressive paint scorer. Not saying he's not good at it, but he just didn't have that aspect of his game where he could shoot even just deep mid-range shots or mid-range shots in general, let alone at a consistent clip. So it was mainly paint scoring. Well, what does he do? He comes out and he wins most improved because he all of a sudden has a three-point shot, all of a sudden has a mid-ranger, and now he can score in practically every facet of offense. He can score in a multitude of different ways, and it made him that much more versatile. It made him that much more hard to guard, and it just added a bunch of different things. So that's what happened with Julius Randle, ends up winning most improved, and yada, yada, yada. You get the whole deal. Now Julius Randle, although he ended up completely crumbling if Randle had not completely crumbled in the playoffs, he would still be viewed as like a great basketball player, but I would say 100% was his, not legacy, I don't know if reputation, essentially. He crumbled in the playoffs. He was the team's best player, and he crumbled, he fumbled the bag, and now it's like, it definitely affected his reputation, 100%. Because I don't view him as that guy. And if he completely went off in the playoffs, well, that's cool. So, this isn't a Julius Randle analysis video. I'm hopeful that Tate shot in, 22 games? 22 games, he shot 38% from downtown. There's always going to be a role for these, not positionless basketball players, but these guys who can, Tate in theory could guard 1 through 5, but you really want to, Tate can realistically guard 2 to 4. He can guard 2 to 4, and on switches, that's what makes him sweet, is he's not necessarily a 1 through 5 guy, but he's very switchable. Jae'Sean is very switchable. So you have a guy who can do so many different things on defense that his offense is kind of hindering his true potential. So I don't think Jae'Sean Tate will turn into a star, but if he comes out with a 38% three-point shot, well, that's when we start talking. That's right there when we start talking. I don't think Jae'Sean Tate will start next season, and honestly, Jae'Sean's tenure with Houston starting might just be over. I don't know what Stone wants to do. I don't know which direction he's going to go in as far as the small forward position goes. But here's what I do know. I think KJ 100% gets shipped out, so that's going to free up some minutes. So you'll see Tate, you'll see Tari, probably both come off of the bench at least for the start of the season. You'll see them plenty. You'll see them at least 20 minutes a night. So I think next year is just kind of a good evaluation year for, all right, does Tate improve? Does he improve his shot? Is he a better defender? is he getting better? Is he significantly getting better? Is he helping us win basketball games? What's he doing for us? And then also, how's he playing with Tari? How's he playing with Jabari? How does he play off of the bench? How does he play with the starters? What do we have here? Do we have something? If we have something, let's pay him. If we don't have something, I'm sorry, Jae'Sean. It was a great gamble, and it paid off greatly for 2 seasons, especially our rookie year. But you have a better role on a contending team, because Jae'Sean Tate deserves to play basketball. Even if he doesn't have a 3-point shot, it's probably better off the bench. Maybe there's a team in the NBA where he could start. But at such a young age, bro, at 26 years old, still 26 for a couple more months, like 5 more months, there's always going to be a spot for him. And so kind of given everything Tate's been through, I think it's just a really cool story, especially being only 6'4". Also, some cool stuff is he looks a lot more slimmed down, and you also saw him getting a lot more slimmed down by the end of the season. Like, even just All-Star break to end the All-Star break, Jae'Sean Tate looks extremely better. So I'm very hopeful for Jae'Sean Tate. I'm very, very hopeful. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think down below. And by the way, I don't want to hear any age shit because, if Christian Wood was 26, but he doesn't fit the timeline, why does Jae'Sean Tate? That's because Christian Wood still thinks he's a max player. And Christian Wood, with the new CBA rules next year, this is gonna sound like a hot take right now, but if Christian Wood does what he did in Houston, he's gonna get paid $30 million or close to $30 million. I guarantee you, especially if he gets an All-Star bid, which he should. Playing with Luka, he's gonna go off. Wood's gonna have a great season next year statistically because he's a great player as well. So I don't want to hear that. Jae'Sean Tate's not gonna need $30 million. Anyways, this fly is freaking driving me crazy. Get back here. Oh my God, you actually did. I'm telling you, he's so cocky, bro. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's like Jae'Sean Tate. He's doing a little bit of everything. That's it. Hit the like button. Hit that sub button for daily Rockets content. Check out my daily live NBA show. Today was Sirio and I were both actually extremely gassed, but I appreciate everyone who tuned in. It's going to be pinned in the comment section. It's going to be in the description. It's also, I tweet it live every day. I tweet it on Houston Rise Daily. So if you're around at 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, we're the best NBA talk show that goes live every single day. Except, Undisputed is like my shit though. But no disrespect to Uncle Shay Shay, we're the best. Peace.